strong institutions that will help our democracy to move along. All right.
Now, the 2023 Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal judgment is still generating widespread reactions. The Peter Obi Global Diaspora Support Network has rejected the judgment, describing it as an attempt to legitimize the presidency of Bola Tinubu. Jide, what do you make of this? By the time everybody was going to court, we all submitted to the jurisdiction of this court and said whatever the outcome will be, that will be what everybody will abide with. But since that ruling on Friday, I'll be on Wednesday.
Ayo, let me tell you, we are a very interesting people. As far as some people are concerned, the judiciary is only right when the judgment is in their favor. Those saying that, oh, it is to legitimize Tinubu's presidency. What is wrong in legitimizing the presidency of somebody who won the election? He won the election hands down. He won the election. Obi never said he won the election in his petition. Because if you won the election, you will have produced your alternative result sheet. You will have said, okay, in this place, in that place, they stole my votes. I scored so number of votes, but they gave it to the enemy, in inverted commas. That was what happened when Aregbesola defeated Oyinlola. They removed invalid votes and kept the valid votes. We've also seen it done in some of the cases that had just decided in the state, that was in the National Assembly petitions tribunals. So we didn't see that. The whole attempt was to get the man disqualified over money forfeited in the that read K.O. Tinubu, disqualified on account of, his academic credentials and all that. Disqualified because it was alleged that his deputy was guilty of double registration. This was despite the fact the Supreme Court had ruled on the matter. The Supreme Court ruled on the matter on May 28, 2023. They still continue to push that particular narrative before the lower court. Have we seen a situation in which the apex court will decide on a matter and the lower court will want to give a separate decision? Once the final court decides on a matter, the lower court has to cite the precedents. The lower court can't do anything different. But Obi and Atiku continue to push the matter of Kashim Shettima not being properly nominated and all that before the tribunal. They wasted so much time on a matter that has been decided by the apex court. So who would have been surprised that those judges upbraided them and decided to not listen to them on that matter? If you went into an election in more than 170,000 polling centers, and you found it difficult to bring even 15 witnesses, you were only able to bring 13. Because what the court says is, look, you cannot bring a witness from a collation center. It has to be from the polling center itself. That is where things get done. Your agent at the polling center is the one who saw what happened. The court rules that if a collation officer, if you bring a collation officer of your party to come and talk about what transpired during the voting, that collation officer is a rumor monger because he didn't witness it. So there were mistakes that were made in the course of this trial by the two parties. And I'm sure that in future, they'll be able to learn from this, because the point about the final court is that you cannot cite fresh evidence. You can't be saying new things. It is what you presented before the tribunal that they are going to adjudicate over, to see whether the tribunal erred in law or the tribunal refused to grant you what it should have granted you. You can't bring new evidence. They are not going to entertain it. So the mistakes have been made. And I want to cite what happened in Osun. The matter of IREF was decided by the Supreme Court as well as the Appeal Court in Osun. So you will have known that this lower tribunal will not go against the decision that the judges of the Supreme Court made in respect of IREF, which is that INEC is not obligated to post results on IREF in real time. They decided on that. So those who jubilated over what transpired in Osun, where the PDP eventually defeated Oyetola, they are the ones who are complaining now because it didn't go in their favor. The APC people who are angry, who are calling judges names because of the decision of the judges in respect of IREF as it affected Osun, they are the ones who are happy now. So this is the way we are. I can't wait for the Supreme Court to decide on this matter. Thankfully, the dramas that we usually witness during trial, when they will carry journalists to go and play video in court, and all those cannot happen in the Supreme Court. They would only invite the lawyers on the day that they will come and address the Supreme Court. And after the address, they will come up with their judgment. It's just 60 days. So, Supreme Court will not waste our time. They won't entertain Ngbati. They will go straight to look at the conclusions of the lower tribunal and then take their decision. The conclusion of the lower tribunal has been very detailed, very precise. In fact, they're very self-explanatory. For anybody who is not even a law student, once you read it, they wrote it in a manner that was self-explanatory. And in my view, that will really help the Supreme Court to reduce the work of the Supreme Court.
All right. And now, this Peter Obi Global Diaspora Support Network, they've rejected this judgment, and they feel that the judges did not do enough, that they weren't given fair hearing. Now, Mr. Peter Obi has decided to go to the Supreme Court.
Well, you know, I've said it here before. And just like what Emeka said, it's a democracy. Everybody can speak. And if we turn the table around also, the other party will speak. That is our nature. Once something does not favor us, we start talking about it. We don't look at the finer points. In fact, if you followed the proceedings of the courts throughout, you'll see that at some point, one of the lawyers of the APC was trying to tell the chairman of that panel that instead of giving them all the details, all the bits by bits of how they arrived at their decision, if you just abridge it, the man said, no, you're not going to teach us our job. Let's say it here. That judgment was 798 pages. 798. So meaning that, say, we want to let you people know where you went wrong. That you cannot come before us with an allegation and not be able to prove that the person you are suing is not the one who is going to provide you with the ammunition with which to shoot. That's one thing I've always learned as somebody who has covered politics for so many years, that you may have a good case, But if the presentation before the court is wrong, that case will be thrown out, because the judges cannot help you to go and look for cases to cite to back your case up. You must be the one to be. Whatever you don't bring to the table, whatever you are thinking in your mind stays in your mind. They will never help you to do it. And that's what
Christmas.
Yeah, that's what most of the things that the judges pointed out, the justices pointed out, that's what they pointed to. That, see, you are claiming that you won in these areas, but we can't see the evidence. If you said you have won, then where are the alternative results? Can you give it to us? If you said you are presenting somebody who is a forensic analyst, who has done forensic analysis for you, what is the interest of that person? Have you gone to look for a specialist, somebody who is completely away from your own politics, who is not a member of your party, who is independent, who can give us an independent opinion? And I learned a lot from that judgment, because it's one of it. Because when when some of those people came to the court, I felt, this is it. It's like there is a point here. But when it was pointed out that, no, you can't be a judge in your own case. So, oh, that's true.
Be party member.
And come and say you have
Evidence against.
evidence.
And you contested.
And you know, so there are so many things involved. And I think going forward, we should not just be paying lawyers for the sake of it, especially because they carry the big title, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. We should be paying them based on experience. These things have happened before. Osun is a good case study, like BKO pointed out. I'm from that state. And when you look at some of the things that transpired in the past, you realize they are like this. Why did the higher court throw out what the tribunal came up with in the case of Oyetola and Adeleke? Simply because of those issues. They came with results and said, we won. And then the higher court said, you couldn't have. Because of this. You didn't bring this. You didn't prove this. It's proof. So instead of calling maybe 100 witnesses, you can call one and still win your case with strong evidence.
Emeka, it's like an Herculean task to actually win your case at this level for presidential election with 176,000 polling units in 180 days. You are meant to get, if you look going by the judgment, the number of evidence, the number of polling units of which you are meant to get, you can't get enough on set. You just have to cover a lot of ground within that lot of it.
In fact, you have just taken what I wanted to say out of my mouth. Because interestingly, that same day that the Court of Appeal ruled, the tribunal, National Assembly Tribunal in Kogi State, upheld the case of Natasha Akpoti. And look at it, it also had to do with proving her case that so and so happened. You understand? So and so happened on the same day. So yes, what you said is correct, but like I said, we need to deepen our democratic processes. Then don't forget the way the elections were, the way the tribunals ruled in 1999 is different from today. The Electoral Act is being improved. I hope we will get to the point where this issue of beavers will be settled once and for all. Because what the appeal court said in terms of the Oyetola case is different from what has been said now. But again, don't forget, also the same tribunal, Presidential Tribunal, upheld Peter Obi's said he was validly nominated. That was a big victory for him because the APC and his supporters had been singing and singing. And this week also, tribunals will give their verdicts in governorship.
That particular Court of Appeal judgment made us to know that you are just an interloper by the time you are
going into other parties' issues.
Other people's
it's not your problem.
So that's not your business.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Peter Obi was validly nominated.
Because some people said everything that
but
the other parties
but don't forget that the APC had been singing that very
Yes, that's against them.
not just
Yes,
only
yes.
against Peter Obi, also in other states. In Abia State, they've been singing it. In some other states, even in senatorial cases,
if it's not in your party, if it doesn't affect you directly, that's what the court has said now.
But I think the issue of what role beavers should play, and whether we are going to still stay with manual collation or we are going to transit wholly to electronic transmission of results, real-time, it has to be decided once and for all, so that, you see, we can also reduce the time spent going to court. Because look at it, why do people go to court? It's because INEC, is believed not to have put up a performance that people can say, okay, well, we can say it's okay. And definitely, I don't think it's in all constituencies that people went to court, over the outcome of the election. So INEC also needs to clean up its own acts. INEC needs to make sure that, you see, it's the way it conducts elections, it's above board. Then, definitely you said it's difficult, trying to prove. Yes, well, but the point is that's why the courts are there. We continue to move forward. But the point is that, you see, the acrimony is not unexpected. I brought up the case of USA, Trump and his supporters, the Trumpsters. They are still very vehement. These things happen. But the point is, all in all, the interest of building the nation should be paramount. Let people be allowed to ventilate their disagreements with issues with the outcome of elections in a constitutional and lawful manner.
Because that's the point you need to make, that people must stay within what is right, what is reasonable. You cannot be poking your hands in my eyes and say that is constitutional. It's not. The point, the fact that you have a right to ventilate your opinion does not mean that people, a system in which we believe, the judiciary, should be rubbished. Because the moment we do that, then we are finishing this country. On INEC, I pity that body, and very seriously too. How many networks do you use in making your calls? Almost all of us have all the networks, because we know we have to run from one to the other. Except we are going to say, for the period of that election, INEC is going to bring something from heaven down to earth, that you can say that you are transiting from manual to electronic fully.
Okay, Jire,
you can't do it. It's going to be difficult.
It's also known as the court of policy. So they are ruling the judgment. We expect the Supreme Court to put this into perspective, and it becomes the law.
The law,
Yes, it will become the law, especially the matter of the ridiculous matter of Abuja being superior to other states, being a special state where people have two heads and 4 legs and all that. We talked about this, that it was ridiculous to bring this up, but they never listened. Now the judgment has come. Abuja does not have a special status. And I think it's a happy day for us as a country that kind of judgment came, because it meant that Abuja can veto the 36 states put together.
That's the main.
Because you could actually win only Abuja and not win other states. And somebody could win 36 states and fail to win Abuja.
The lawyer dwelled on that and the Federal Capital Territory.
You now say because, yes, you then say because he didn't win the FCT, he cannot be president.
Unless he goes back to win it.
Never ever said that. It was a thorough misdirection and thorough misapplication of the content of the Constitution. And I'm happy that has been laid to rest. And I'm very confident that the Supreme Court, as the court of policy, will also make a consequential order in respect of Abuja, so that never again will anybody get up and tell us that because he's a senior lawyer, he's practiced for up to 40 years, Abuja has a special status. No, it was borderline ridiculous, and I know that it will not happen again. No state, no part of Nigeria is superior to any other part. Even in the US, there is no state that is superior to any other state.
Unless
As big as California is, a lot of those Republican presidents didn't need to win California. They didn't need to win New York, and they became president. Despite 50 electoral college seats, they didn't need to win them. George W. Bush didn't need to win it, and he became president. His father too, because those are thorough democratic states. New York, California. How are you going to win those places? But at the end of the day, they still became president. That's the way it should be. No state should be able to stop a candidate from becoming president. If you can win and constitutionally you score your 25%, 24 states, you will become president. So I'm happy that some of these issues are going to be decided finally by the Supreme Court.